Okay. Hi, guys. My name is Lisa. I'm a Cal Mesa certified peer support specialist and also a mindfulness based substance abuse treatment certified facilitator. I'm a friend of Aurelio's and I'm helping because I care about your guys' future and hope that you guys can get something out of this interview. Now I'm going to let Polly introduce himself.
Hi guys, my name's Foley. I've been incarcerated for about 11 years on a 35-year life sentence for first-degree murder for the life of Murat Magdeef. My life is maybe similar like yours. The most similarity that I have maybe with you guys is that I'm also from where you guys are from Corny. I went to the school that you guys went to, so there might be some things that you guys can relate to my story. And just hopefully you guys have your ears open. And I'm not saying that everything that I say you should agree, but just hear me out, please. And thank Lisa and Aurelio for doing this.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and is it okay if I ask you a few questions?
Go for it.
Okay, so the first one is when you were in high school, what was like the number one issue or problem that you dealt with?
Man, I feel that it was feeling like I wasn't understood or more like misunderstood. That either my parents, my teachers, just people around me didn't get me.
Okay. And what did that lead to?
It led me to feel frustrated and angry. Like it's just not feeling understood. It just felt like when I would speak, maybe it just wasn't heard.
Okay. And how did that manifest in your life?
So the way it looked like, right, it was I went in search for other places that I did feel accepted or that I did feel understood.
Okay. And what were some of the things that you chose to do and what were the consequences of your of those choices?
So, you know, I looked acceptance to different places, right? I started off first innocently, like in different social circles, right? So I started skateboarding, right? But then from skateboarding, it took me to being in gangs. Like at first, it was skateboarding, I felt accepted, doing tricks and all that, whatever. But then there came other things that I had to do to continue to be accepted. And the more that I did those things, the more it forced me to keep on doing other things. And being that I was skateboarding, I was more in the streets, and I would see other people, gang members, get more respect, get more acceptance. So I felt like, you know what, that's what I want. And so it just kind of pushed me from a place where it just started as something small to something big.
Okay. And what were like some of those specific things? Can you tell us like some specific things that you were doing?
So yeah, so one of them was using drugs. So smoking weed, right? Like at first I was totally against smoking weed, but
Mhm.
there was one time that I said no, and people looked at me different. Like by me saying no, it's like, oh wow, like you're not cool or whatever, right? So I decided one time, the next time they're gonna offer it to me, I'm gonna say yes. So I said yes. So that became one of the things to feel accepted and connect with. I had to smoke and do things like maybe not get into a fight or something like that during respect.
Okay. And how does those things connect to like you catching your life sentence that you're serving now?
Well, so the main thing, right, was searching in places to feel acceptance, right? So I'm in here for murder, right? And I did it as a way to feel good about myself, to validate myself, because I believe that if a gang member is not doing much things, then he's not really a gang member. So I felt like I had to do something in order to feel like I was accepted by my peers, and so the acceptance, but also to the drugs, right? So obviously, committing murder, you're not in the right mind. So I was heavily influenced, smoking weed, and the weed that started off, small, it went to using cocaine, methamphetamines, pills, right? It went from using, promethazine, codeine, all those things. And at that time, I felt like I was cool because in a way, like using, fighting, the risk, that was the reward. That's
Mm,
what made me accepted by people.
okay. What advice would you give someone who might be dealing with like the same issues that you were dealing with?
First, communicate. right? So let's go back to what I was saying. I didn't feel like I was understood. Part of it too was I didn't really take the time to reach out and ask for help, right? So, prime example, Aurelio. You know, I bet Aurelio is in many of your guys' lives and trying to help you. I get it. Sometimes we think that people don't get us because they haven't lived that life or they just don't know, right? Like they're out of tune. But trust me, when I first met Aurelio on A yard, which is a level 4, like maximum security, where the badass of the badasses go there, he knew what was going on. Like so we had this instant connection. I was like, man, I wish that I had an Aurelio in my life when I was younger to speak and talk about the things that I wish I could with someone who, because part of it too was because my parents were first generation, right? So they're from Mexico. So there was this distance, right? Like, man, they're Mexican. They don't really understand what I'm going through. So, what, like, no. So Aurelio gets it. He gets both sides of the story, right? So for sure, one of the things is talk to Aurelio, talk to Lisa, talk to you, right? Um, just reach out for help, and that's the first step, I think.
Okay. What were some of the consequences that you experienced at that time in your life?
I experienced lots of consequences, right? So obviously, you know, you guys are probably familiar, right? You guys go to high school first, right? You guys go to from Maywood or wherever else you guys came from. You guys didn't go to Corning Union, and well, that was my steps too. But once I started hanging out with the wrong crowd, my grades quickly slipped. Right, when I had all Fs, even in PE, I just did not care. Got sent to Centennial for getting into too many fights. And even after Centennial, I got kicked out of there and went to CCAL. So, I mean, that's what happens when you just don't really aren't aware what's going around, right? So, and when I was Centennial, right, like I didn't really care either. Like I did not care about education. All I cared about was kicking it, right? So probably I don't know if the rodeo is still around where you guys are at, but we'd go to the rodeo and go smoke there. Go to the park, right? We go to Woodson Park, smoke there. um, just go to different spots, right? Even at school, right? Even I don't know if it's still there, the wood pile for the woodshop class, right? I mean, I don't want to put you on the spot, but right. So it's that's what I was doing. I wasn't focused on learning.
Okay. And how would your family's lives be different, do you think, if you had trusted Aurelio and asked for the help that you needed to be successful?
Completely different, you know. So here comes the other half of your choices and decisions, right? And at first, it seems like it's all cool because you guys still have your freedom, right? But it's almost like a fish out of water. It doesn't know how valuable the water is until it's out of it. I've lost my father 5 years ago, and it was COVID. I'm the only child, so my mom has kind of deal with her own problems. I missed out on a lot of life. I've hurt a lot of people. So by me asking for help to Aurelio, it would have stopped all that. I could have shared my problems, and maybe he could offer any advice or counsel that could have gotten me to the right path. All I really wanted was to be heard. And I'm telling you, Aurelio, he's there to hear you guys, and he gets it.
Well,
Just
thanks,
reach out.
Polly, for being open and sharing your, like being vulnerable and sharing your life story with us. Do you have any like final messages for these young men?
I do. I do. Look, I'm not asking any of you. We're not asking none of you guys to change who you are, right? You guys are incredible kids. You guys are incredible turning into men, right? You turning into women, whoever you like, right? You guys are incredible. And obviously, you guys are thinking outside the box by doing, what you guys are doing. The thing is, it's unhealthy. It's only going to lead to addiction, to jail, to even maybe death. I've had friends that were living the same life and not just to gain death, right? Just by making drinking and driving, right? They've died that way. It's serious. You guys have a special ability to really think outside the box, and all we want is for you guys to apply it to where you guys are going to have a healthy, productive life, right? Like, don't sacrifice who you are. The things that you guys are doing in order to feel like you're heard or seen, that's not who you are. You guys are good kids, and I know it because that I knew looking back at my past, I know I was a good kid. And I know I still have that goodness within me, or else I wouldn't be doing this, trying to get back to you guys and hopefully together change the direction of your guys' lives. And look, if you guys want to contact Aurelio, Lisa, me, whoever you feel that you can talk to and do it. We're here for you 100%. Like, this is not the life, guys, at all. I still have like 15 more years to see if I get out, right? So my youth has been wasted. Um, but take your education serious too, right? So one thing I have done here is be able to earn my education, right? So I went from all Fs to getting a BA degree. So now it's I place value on education and other things that give me a sense of purpose. And I know this might be a lot for you guys, but take advantage of the opportunity you guys have right now, right? If it's if you guys want to make money, make it a way where you can earn it honestly, and you don't have to worry about it being taken away by someone or something, right? So ask for help. We're here for you guys.
Gracias. Okay,
Oh, you
so
know
thank
what?
you.
We're gonna
Oh,